Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the progress video on late summer here at Fruitopia. So we only have a couple of weeks left of summer, and just thought I would give you an update again on the progress. And it's much brighter today, so much more light. So let's get started. Currently 32 Celsius here in Melbourne, which is around 89, 90 Fahrenheit, as America has their snowstorms and cold throughout Europe as well. This is the prickly pear, as we call it here, shooting out its new shoots, new growth. I've had this guy in the ground for about 2 years now, and he's finally getting established. So I think this is called nopal in the US. Nopal, yeah. So looking good. This is the black sapoti. I showed you the one in the front yard. This is the one in the backyard. We're doing the backyard today, by the way, or the back garden. And this one seems to be pretty loaded with fruit. It's got so much. I'm not sure if they're all gonna set. Right? Just too many. The tree itself is, believe it or not, this is like 7 years old. But as I've explained in other videos, there was a mishap. The tree was doing great in the pot 6 years ago, and I decided to put it in the ground 4 years ago, and it died. And after that, I put it back into a pot to see if it would recover, and it has. It's fully recovered. But I lost about 2 years growth because of that incident. So that's why it looks stunted after so many years. So it's playing catch up. This is catch up now, and that's fine. Remember, when you have like 100 fruit trees and 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 don't go as planned, it's okay. It's alright, guys, because there's 99 others. That's life in general, right? This is the oldest Starfruit I have, Carambola. I've had it for also around 7 years, and I got it when it was around 2. So you're looking at a 9-year-old Starfruit tree, almost 10 years old, and it's standing at around 2.5 meters. Always looking majestic, beautiful, very pretty, the leaves. But it still hasn't flowered this season. It's flowered in past years, but it's never fruited. So we're still waiting for fruit on this almost 9-year-old starfruit tree. Can you grow starfruit in Melbourne? Yes, but this variety here, called Thai Night, is not in any hurry to fruit. The tree itself is growing fine. It's doing beautifully. So just a heads up on the starfruit. Next to it we have the Kohala Longan, and that's done really well this summer. So even though we've had a mediocre summer, I wouldn't call it lousy, I wouldn't go that far. I would say mediocre. This guy here has been a real champion. A real champion. Look at all these new shoots. He's been in the ground here for 2 years. Almost 2.5 years actually. And I got him when he was around maybe 2 or 3 years old. So you're looking at a 5-year-old longan in Melbourne. Yep, he's finally decided to grow. So you got all this new growth here, and you got all the new growth up there. This was the tree down here for the first 2 years. Not much going on at all down in here. So it went up there and it went up here. So I'm very happy with the results on this longan here. My oldest, well, I shouldn't say my oldest, my largest, because I've got an older one than this and it didn't do well at all. I'll show you later. This is the Bowen mango, the seedling, which I put in the ground only about a month ago, around Christmas. So as we said, we're only going to be doing seedlings, guys, in ground for the mangoes. Still waiting for him to wake up out of the daily's arrival look he had. So he's still not opened up here. That's what it looked like the day I received it from Dailies, and 6 weeks later it's still sleeping. So I'm waiting on the Bowen to get going before the hot weather is over. There's only another 6-7 weeks ago before the first frost arrives, so he better get moving, better get his act together. And that's beside the Starfruit here, which I showed you. And over here we have the avocado, the Pinkerton. So I was going to do a separate update on that in a separate video, but we can throw him in this video. This is going to be another long video, guys. The latest on him is he's dropped almost all his fruit. Yeah, he dropped like 20 fruit in the last week. Big size fruit too. So one guy told me, why don't you pull all the fruit off? Right? And I told him, why? The tree's going to do it anyway. The tree's going to drop the fruit. I don't have to do anything, and that's exactly what happened. And the dieback's continuing, which isn't good, right? Dieback. Now, overall, it looks like this one might make it, but a lot of dieback. See these dieback branches? Yeah. So I don't know. So far, it's looking like 80%, 70 to 80% survival. But I was hoping he would. There you go. There's the fruit. There's about let's see. I've got the sun in my eyes. There's about a dozen fruit left. Last week there was over 30. And now I got the ladder ready to cover him with a bed sheet, but I don't cover the avocados unless the temperature hits 34, 35. It almost made it, but not quite. 31, 32. It just fell short of the temperature that I normally cover the naked avocado trees. So there's dieback at the top. Here I chopped it right there where the dieback began a couple of months ago. That one there, cut it back. So there's dieback here, there's dieback there, there's dieback here, there's dieback there. Not very promising, but we still have some hope, guys. Just cross your fingers with me that it survives. It's also dropped a few leaves, but still holding on to about, 100 leaves, I would say. It's not the end, but we'll see. Bananas along the back here are doing exceptionally well. We've got the Pisang Ceylon there, and either a Rajapuri or Goldfinger here. With a couple of racks. I'm going to do a separate video on bananas soon, so that anyone interested in those only can check. And here I've got another rack coming, smaller rack. They look like good size bananas. Yeah. So that's the bananas out the back here. Back up, lemon trees fruiting nicely whilst we wait for the one we butchered last year to come back. Got to cut the tops off. They grow so quick, the citrus here. Just crazy. The vigor of citrus, right? Look at that. It's growing into the eaves. I just wish the mango would have such vigor here. Can't wait. The Lychee jujube, which I planted only in spring. I think it was November. Like just over 3 months ago. It's already at my lower chest in height. So in only 3 months, it's pretty much tripled in height, which is amazing for first year in ground. And it's giving us a dozen fruit as well. Not as big as I had expected from the Lychee. These are about the same size as the other jujube I have, the Chico. So I'm a little perplexed about that. Maybe it needs another year in the ground. You'll see the other jujube next, which is meant to be half the size of these. Yeah. So not bad for first year in ground. Not bad at all. Lychee jujube. Alright, this is the other jujube, the Chico variety, which I've had for about 5 years in the ground here. So it's around 6 years old, and wow, it's easily 3 meters, easily. And I've had to chop the crown. I chopped it over here in spring, so it would sort of go wide rather than up, and it did that. It's starting to go sideways, but I'm going to give it another chop, get rid of all that next season, because I can't reach the fruit up there. I need a ladder and a net. Netting is very hard because the parrots go for these as well, of course. Anyway, check out how loaded it is. We've got literally hundreds of jujubes to nibble on in April. These come in April, or actually, no, sorry, these come in late March. So another 3 weeks. Yeah, it's clusters. They're like grapes, but they're hard. The grape size, but they taste like apples. Intense tasting apples. I'll make a separate video on these two when the time comes, when they're ready. Jujube. Chinese date tree is its other name. And that guy up there, guess who that is? That's the native Australian tamarind. You know, the one that was dropping all its leaves and branches back in spring, which is November. He resumed growth 2 weeks ago. He said, I'm back, and back he is. Check it out. Check him out. At, wow, what height is he now? Gee, he would be easily 2, 4, 5 meters in height. Yeah, here's another angle of the native Australian tamarind. Diploglotis australis is the Latin name. Didn't think he was gonna make it, did ya? But sorry to say, it's not all good news. The Pitomba has carked it. From 5 meters to 5 inches. That's gardening, guys. That's life. In look at this. Pitomba. Pitomba memories. However, guess what he's doing? Guess what this crazy, I think Bolivian, from Bolivia, tree is doing? He's coming back from somewhere down there. Look what he's doing. Look what this freak tree is doing. He's coming back from the roots, I think. Right? What do you guys think? I haven't had that before. And I think he's doing it on the other side too. There he is. See what he's doing over here? 2 of them. What's that? Hang on. Down there. Maybe 3. And that one there, 4. So what do you think? You think this guy's gonna make it? Pitomba. This is my other Kohala longan, which is the oldest one I have. I got this guy like 6 years ago. A lot of things happened 6 years ago. Seems to be a common number. And I had him in a pot for 5 years, and he wasn't happy, although he had grown 2 meters tall, 6 feet. But he died in the pot. He died back a lot. So last year, I took him out of the pot, looking like this. See these leaves? See that? Looking like that. Looking really, really bad. Right? That was him for 5 years, like this, in a pot. And now, look what happened. Look what happened on this side. On this side, this summer, this mediocre summer, which I'm grateful for, he's come back to life. So, he's got a lot of catching up to do. Like the first black sapote I showed you, who also almost died. So guys, the take-home message is, these guys, although they're sooks and sensitive and this and that, like the Pitomba, they come back. They can come back. They can. So don't give up on your sooks. Tropical sooks. I had some flowers setting on the Jaboticaba a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like some of them have turned to fruit. I can't show you now because it's really sunny. I didn't pick the best time to make a video again. Either too dark or too bright. It's way too bright. There's one little fruit down there that's coming. You can possibly see it, maybe not. No, you can't. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video on this when the light conditions are a little better. But other than that, The Jabuticaba, my oldest one, has soared at 3 meters or beyond. I'm gonna have to trim him, trim the tops up there. See all that? And make him nice and round again. This is the Dwarf Mulberry, which I bought last spring as well. Was it spring? Yeah, again November. And check him out, man. Check out his growth in only 3 months. Look. How high would you like to go? How high? He's taller than I am. He's He's around 6'2". Amazing. I'll grab him from the other side. The lighting's not good here. Yeah, there he is. See him? Wow, what a champion. What a champion. Now the problem I'm gonna have is he's too close to these persimmon, fuyu, and he's too close to that jujube I showed you. He's right in the middle, so they're gonna be touching. It's gonna be very busy accessing the fruit and netting, putting nets on, right? But we'll manage somehow. And talking about persimmon, here we are, right next to it. A good crop this year. Not, hang on. Not a bumper crop like last year, but adequate. I would say there's around 50. Last year we had 200 fruit. It was a bumper crop, a record crop. So this is a very small crop of only around 50 persimmon. That's the tree there, which I've had now for almost 10 years. Gee, the lighting sucks. Oh man. There's that native tamarind again, up there. Beautiful. I'm usually a better filmmaker than this with lighting, but today I just felt spontaneous just to get out and film without considering the lighting. Here underneath the tamarind, I've got some dragon fruit. I think it's the white pearl, and he needs some help. I need to fix him support ASAP. He's starting to like want to collapse, and I've only got these little threads holding him up, so that needs attention ASAP. Here I've got one of 2 green sapotes. He's doing okay. He's getting chewed though by some critter, right? See that? It breaks my heart to see that on these absolutely stunning, beautiful, incredibly sexy trees. But there's not much we can do other than use, you know, all the sprays and chemicals and reapplying every day. But otherwise, the green sapote is looking great. Very happy with this guy. Here's the yellow jabuticaba, which is doing okay, but he also gets nibbled at the top here. They love his new leaves, these tips here, see these? They love chewing on that. That's a real pity. Where the new growth comes. They do the same to the tamarillo. It's very tender. It's like soft and chewy. So he's expanded a little since planting back in spring as well. The yellow jabuticaba. Here is the other problem avocado that I have that looks like it's gonna cark it for sure. I mean, there's a slight chance it'll make it, maybe 20-30%, but it looks like 70% dead. The lamb has, guys. I've done what I can. The only reason I have any hope is because all these new tips are showing signs of potential new growth. See that? And they're everywhere. They're on every single branch. It's like one last push, one last hurrah before the ship sinks. But not looking good at all. Even this branch here, right? The main branch here, not looking good at all. And a lot of dieback, of course. The dieback is just everywhere. So, right, dieback, dieback, dieback. Still holding on to its fruit, which we got back in December. There's only like 3 of them. Yeah. Why aren't I pulling them off? Because the tree can do it. Doesn't need my help. Doesn't need my help. So yeah, there's more dieback here. That's the banana you're hearing. Not the avocado. Yeah, so well, we'll see what happens, huh? Just hope for the best on the lamb has. And right next to the lamb has, I have this lychee, which is the Bosworth. And I've had him in the ground 2 years as well, like the Kohala Longan. He's done well. Very happy with him. He dropped all his little flowers and new growth. What do you call it? New buds. So I didn't want to fruit. That's fine. Let him grow a bit. So they need a lot of sun though from all directions. And behind me, we have that Jabudicaba and pink guava and pomelo there. So he's missing out on a lot of sun, but he's getting a lot of protection from cold in winter, right? So he should be fine. It's just going to take a couple of years longer to get going. But I'm very content overall on the lychee. Here's the other established starfruit I have in the ground, which is about 5 years old. This is the Kerry variety, right? Also not flowering yet, also not fruited. Beautiful, beautiful tree. I love the starfruits. That's why I bought 2 more. I'll show the other ones in another video because we've already reached 30 minutes here. And here we have the giant persimmon, known as Gyro. J-I-R-O, Giro. And he's going to have a good crop this year. Not bad at all. Looks like we're going to have about 30. Last year Yannick gave us 5, 6. So they're giants, they're huge. They're like, wow, beautiful. Still a bit to go, to grow. These are ready in April. So another 5-6 weeks on the Gyro persimmon. These are semi-dwarf trees, but very large fruit. The Subel White Sapoti is doing great, growing really high up, which is what I want because it's stuck in between all these trees, right? It's doing really well, giving us the first fruit ever after 4 years. Not much, but at least we're going to get a sample of the Subel. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. This is the cherry moya, which still hasn't set any fruit, flowering like mad. I've tried my best to hand pollinate, but it's just not working, right? So I've tried this, I've tried that, early morning, late night. I even gave it some fruit fly attraction, right, to attract the little fruit flies and little bugs, so they can do some pollinating for me. Nothing's working. So at almost 10 years old, let's say 9 years old, still no luck. Just like with Starfruit, on getting this to pollinate early. Like, it will pollinate itself in March, right? But then it'll be too late. It'll be like late season, and late season cherry moya don't do too well on this tree. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. I even have a watermelon. Look at this, to attract the fruit fly and gnats. I'm trying to get any help I can, guys. So that's the Fino de Hete FDJ variety of cherry moya. Fuerte avocado with its only fruit coming along nicely, right? Only 2 years in the ground. A 4-year-old tree, maybe 5, soaring up in the sky at around 3.5 meters. Doing great, protected by the ice cream bean, which is finished flowering now. It's set all its fruit, so we're gonna be getting the beans here in winter. They come in June and July. And there we have lots of sugar cane for our new juicer. This is the other in-ground black sapote I have, the Tahitian variety. This is its second summer that it's just completed. It's dropping a lot of the fruit that were hanging. See that? The fruit drop. But it's still holding a couple. No problem. Still got a few on there, but it's dropped most. It had like 40 fruit, and now there's only like 10 left. And they'll drop too, and there'll probably be a couple left. I've only had it for a year and a half, or not even that, a year and 3 months. It's the one that gets mostly shade. The other two are full sun. So comparing shade and full sun and location and varieties with the black sapote, I've got 2 new varieties that came a couple of weeks ago, and they're still infants in pots. This is the main pomelo tree I have. You saw the little namroi in the front in part 1. So this tree is already like 6-7 years old, and these are yellow or white flesh, white to yellow flesh, and they come in the middle of winter in July. And there's about 20, around 20 this year. Nice and big fat pomelo. There's the tree there. And you saw me trim it back in spring. Yep, it's gonna need another trim. The endless trimming when you're packing in trees in a tight space. There's a lot more I can show you guys, but I have to finish it right here with this pink guava, the Hawaiian Supreme. Check her out. This is another one I prune and trim all through the year, maybe 3 times a year, and it needs another prune. Look, see all this new growth that came over summer? The tree was like up to here in spring, and now I've got all this here to cut. I don't want it up there, it's too high. But always a bumper crop on this guy. Don't forget your guava trees when you start your tropical garden in Melbourne or any other zone 9. They do exceptionally well, and they can take temperatures down to minus 4, minus 3, 27, 26 Fahrenheit, maybe lower. Look at it, look how beautiful it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this progress report on late summer tropical fruit trees at Fruitopia. See you from the next video.